Okay, so let's find a comfortable seat. We're going to start with a little bit of a meditation. Someone said to me the other day that they liked the meditation we did around kind of shrinking the earth into a tiny little ball and putting it in our heart. So I thought we'd do it again because the whole world can use our support and our love right now. I'm sure of it. So find a comfortable seat. Take a moment to drop your awareness into your body. Close your eyes. Can even take your glasses off so your eyes can rest if you're wearing glasses. And just allow yourself to settle. Maybe you were hurrying to kind of get onto your mat today. Maybe you've had a busy morning. Maybe you just woke up. Maybe you've been up for hours. Whatever your energy is, let's see if we can just take a moment to settle ourselves and drop our attention. And as you close your eyes, let that kind of retreat away from the senses, the outer senses, give you a greater sensing of the inner world, what's happening for you today. Kind of just take a little scan through all of your koshas for a moment, kind of noticing your physical body, if there's anything that's kind of up or highlighted that feels really good or maybe is challenging to you today. Is there anything you can adjust in your physical body to make you feel more comfortable, more settled in the body, more stable in the body, more free? And can you offer some kindness to your physical body? You know, maybe it's someplace you're healing, maybe it's someplace you're befriending. And then move a little deeper into the pranamaya kosha, this energy body, your breath body, your prana body. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out and see if you can let the breath infuse you. See if you can just get that feeling that all your cells can kind of shimmer with the breath. The pacing of your breath helping you to relax, slow things down, get your breath wide and slow. And not only breathing the air, but breathe the prana. This pranamaya kosha, it's our energy body. So enliven with the breath is feed yourself what you need. Then moving into the mental body, you know, how is your thinking going today? Have you had something on autopilot or something on repeat? Have your thoughts been catastrophizing at all? Are you kind of past and future? Or are you very present here and now? Can you offer some kind thoughts? Letting the energy of your mind kind of help support you. Moving into that deeper awareness, you know, how are your emotional states? Can you kind of touch that deeper layer of your consciousness? Maybe some things that are hidden a little bit from your view, you can enliven right now. And then the Anandamaya Kosha, that deepest layer, most expansive layer of our being, our bliss body, that sense of divine connection to all things. Can you touch this a bit? And so moving with your breath into all these koshas, kind of holistically seeing yourself, feeling yourself, being yourself. Have you landed here? Are you grounded? Are you present? Are you breathing? And then let's imagine, that just a little bit of that Tonglen meditation style where we breathe in the known and unknown suffering of the world. Okay, so this is where we can start visualizing the earth as a small orb in front of us, perhaps starting there where we can have a view of the whole earth in front of us. So again, try not to get granular in this. We're thinking less of very specific instances of suffering, but just kind of get the feeling state of the planet. And on your exhale, see if you can offer a circle of protection around the planet. So breathing in a consciousness around our shared humanity and the challenges of our shared humanity. And breathing out a blessing, a circle of protection, a prayer for the well-being of the planet and all the sentient beings on the planet. Notice where your mind goes, notice where your heart goes, notice where your breath goes. Notice if you can stay connected to that Anandamaya Kosha, that sense of wholeness. And then see if you can, as you're breathing and visualizing, see if you can imagine that you can take the little globe that's in front of you and just offer your heart as that circle of protection around the earth. So maybe you want to imagine the ball kind of entering into your heart space. And if that doesn't work for you, you can keep it outside of yourself, but just sensing into your energy and your capacity to hold and support and cherish the earth. And then when you feel ready, you can just feel a state of dissolving in your heart space, where there's a quality of release or surrender. Maybe the ripples of your intentions here, your prayers can kind of ripple out of you like an energetic melting. And any time that you want to offer a prayer for the planet and all the people on the planet, all the sentient beings on the planet, remember that you can touch this at any time. And then when you're ready, bring your palms together and to return to your sense of your physical body. So maybe even press your hands or rub your hands so you kind of know this is me right now. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and offer an intention for yourself, for your practice. How can your practice support you today? And then we'll release our hands and find our way onto our back. All right, so as you stretch out and we start to kind of invite the physicality of our practice, see what we can do to just enjoy the feeling of lying down for a moment. Stretching your arms overhead and reaching your body, maybe reaching one side Ooh, it makes me want to yawn. Maybe it makes you want to yawn. Kind of see if it feels good to lengthen and stretch one side and then the other. Let the hips come offline from each other, the shoulders come offline from each other, just getting a nice side stretch. All right, and then bring your knees into your chest and a little bit of rocking. Soften up your low back, nice and easeful. And then hang on to the knees and we'll circle, kind of rolling your knees one way. Feel a sense of ease across your sacrum. And then we'll roll the knees the other way. And then we'll open up our knees and bring them back in toward the middle. So we just get our nice range of motion in our hip joints, kind of warming up the hips a little bit. And then right knee into your chest, left leg long on the ground, and let's move around in our ankles, the same kind of rolling around that we just did in our hips and back. Let's feel that in our ankles and our toes now. A nice good squeeze of that knee into the chest. Be mindful to melt the head, relax to the ground. Take the right knee, cross it over to the left, and stretch open to a twist. Turning your head, maybe see what it feels like to open up through your chest and breathe deeply. And then bring that knee back in toward your chest and we'll switch sides. Left knee in, right leg long on the ground. Let's roll around in your ankles again. Free up your feet. Try to get into any little nook or cranny you haven't felt yet. So many bones, so many joints, so many ligaments, so many tendons. Your feet are full of lots of important apparatus. So let's give them some space. And then we'll cross the left knee over to the right and twist open here. Don't worry about how far you go. Just go into a comfortable, happy place for the spine. Pay attention to the chest and open up and breathe here. Remember that pranamaya kosha. We want the breath body to expand and give us a lot of vitality. And then stretch back onto the ground. Stretch your limbs wide like a star, reaching outward into space. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, roll your wrists, roll your ankles. A deep breath stretch. As you exhale, knees into your chest, head comes up round the spine. And again, one more time, expanding open. And then exhale, drawing in. Release your head down, arms out to the side, and just windshield wiper your knees left and right. Feet are on the ground, and we just drop our knees. Turn your head in opposition of the knees. You just get that nice, gentle ringing of a twist through your spine. Okay, we'll roll over onto our right side. Use your arm as a pillow or grab a block or a blanket. Grab onto your left ankle and stretch through your quad. Stabilize your pelvis so the tail is moving toward the knee in the air, the pubic bone toward the belly button, and we find just a little bit of grounding through that leg on the earth. Open up the whole quad, draw your thighs back, and then we'll round in onto our back, knees to your chest, rock a little bit from side to side, and then we'll roll to the left. Grab onto your right heel or ankle, and then stretch into that quad stretch on this side. Feel supported under your head. Feel stable in your pelvis. Feel that nice length of the femur bone. How's the breath? And then rolling back onto your back one more time. A little bit of rocking. And then we'll grab onto our feet and come to a happy baby pose. You can always grab behind your knees instead if the feet are a little far away. And maybe you want some rocking through your spine. Maybe you enjoy stillness. So just opening up that low back, getting the lumbar spine to spread out and find some space. All right, and then release one more time to a star on the ground. Roll your fingers, your toes, your wrists, and your ankles. A deep breath, and as you exhale, knees into your chest, and we'll roll to the side. Come up to your hands and your knees. As you find your way onto all fours, ground yourself, and let's start to move through some cat-cows, arching and rounding the spine. Taking a little time here to feel the full movement of your vertebrae. What a lovely thing to breathe and move your spine. So let's try to enjoy what you're doing here, where your body feels a nice sense of ease and space. How's that pranamaya kosha? How's the breath body? All right, and then feel free to wag your tail or circle around in your ribs or hips. Just see what feels good, what's releasing for the back. All right, and then we'll settle back to a child's pose and walk the hands far out in front of you. Inch those palms. Lengthen through your sides, lengthen through your shoulders. Take a breath and notice the breath down your spine. And then we'll walk our hands over to one side, feeling some reaching through that side body. Relax the base of the skull. And then we'll walk our hands over to the other side, feeling some length and reach, breathing deeply. And then we'll come back to center up onto your hands and your knees again. And let's find a twist, reaching one arm up in the air and then drop that shoulder down, twisting to the side. Enjoy the depth of this. Breathe well. Relax your neck. Try not to take tension in your skull. And then we'll come out of it a little bit, child's pose, but your arm stays underneath you. Chest faces the ground. Let the back side of your shoulders stretch open now. Drop your hips toward the heels. All right, and then we'll inhale and bring that arm all the way back up. Hand comes down onto the ground. We'll switch sides, arm lifting high. Bring that shoulder down, twisting deeply. A little bit of weight in your hand on the ground if that feels good to deepen the twist. How's your breath? Melt any tension in your skull and in the base of your skull at your neck. Come out of the pose a bit. So you're facing the ground with your chest. The arm is still underneath you, but just slid out a little less deep. And then drop your hips back toward child's pose. And then inhale, bring that arm back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground. And we'll find our way to a dog pose. So as you come on up, take a little time to find yourself here. Maybe your feet like to pedal. Maybe you like to kind of knead the floor and like lift one hand and then place it back down, or a foot and place it back down. Just kind of find your grounding. Notice the earth or your connection to it. Take any movements in this pose that awaken you and give you a sense of wholeness where you feel both grounded and free. How's the breath? Open up the backs of the legs. Start to feel those hamstrings and calves stretch open. And then we'll walk our feet forward. Come to Uttanasana, forward fold. Relax your head. Ground your feet well. Inhale for a halfway lift, opening up through the front of the body. Let's pedal your feet again here if you'd like. Moving one hip back, just kind of opening up the legs a little bit. You can even lift up your toes and come onto your heels and then onto your toes and lift your heels. So kind of just find your feet. Sometimes I even like to rock into my inner feet and my outer feet, just getting my ankles to move. All right, and then ground into four corners of your feet and melt into a forward fold. Bend your knees if you need and let your head dangle, relax. When you're ready, we'll push through the feet, rising up. Bring the arms upward to the sky, an open chest. Spread open your wings. Let's cactus the arms, a deep breath. Squeeze between your shoulder blades. Then exhale and round the back body, forearms touch, widen the shoulder blades. And one more time, squeeze the shoulder blades, cactus arms, and then exhale, round the spine. Lifting the arms straight up, maybe a little bit of a back bend here, and then exhale, and float forward. Open up the back. Inhale for a halfway lift, extending the spine. Exhale to melt. Dog pose. Take the hands and feet, ground them into the earth. Yield. Find your breath. When you feel ready, we'll come forward into a plank. Push the ground away. Spread your shoulder blades, and then ever so slightly draw your shoulder blades toward each other. And just to slide glide those shoulder blades a little bit, pushing and then releasing. So we just get a little bit of mobility there. Engage through your core. And then find stability. Shoulder blades down the back, crown reaching forward. And we'll put our knees down to the ground first and lower our body. Roll the shoulders a few times here. Drop your elbows back toward your hips. Inhale for a cobra. Open chest. Exhale, melting down again. One more time. Elbows back, shoulder blades down. Open the front body. Exhale and release. Come up onto all fours. Move your spine around. Head back into a child's pose for a moment. Raise, give your wrists a little swirl. You've been on your hands some. Lengthen through your arms. Curl your toes under. Lift to a dog. Find your breath. Let's lift the right leg up and stack open the right hip. Bend your knee if you'd like, or keep it straight, but lengthen through the front of the pelvis. And then we'll put that foot down and switch sides. Left leg up, stack open your left over your right, lengthen the femur bone and breathe. Square those hips, put your feet down, walk your feet forward. Uttanasana. Grab your elbows, just let your body hang a little bit. Lengthen through your spine, feel your vertebrae stretch open. Inhale for a halfway lift. And then exhale. Again, push through your feet, rising up. Arms to the sky. Trace down through the center line of your body and pause here. So just notice your body coming alive and awake. Ground through your feet. Give some weight into the earth. Feel the texture of your mat. Release any tension around your breath, a full deep belly breath. Nice diaphragmatic breathing here. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale and float your hands down, lean forward. A halfway lift, expand through your spine, melt again. Step your left foot back, come to a lunge, ground yourself. Open through your heart. And we'll bend and straighten the front legs. So we're just waking up those legs a little bit, feeling the hip flexors of that back leg stretch open. Feel free to lift your toes if you want of that front leg. Feel free to keep your toes grounded. Just kind of find what movement feels really good. Root into your feet again really well. Push through the ground. Rise up, crescent lunge. Open up through the heart space. All that spaciousness that you just put the whole planet into the heart. Let's see if we can lift the heart. Expand open. Let's have a moment to cactus our arms. Be mindful of your low back. Try not to push the front ribs out. And then we'll press forward. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, pressing forward. One more time. Push through that front foot. Lengthening your arms back by your sides now. Stay low. Engage your triceps, palms facing the floor. Feel the back body. Enjoy the support of that back body. And then we'll release our hands down onto the ground. Lift up onto your right foot, half splits, squaring the hips here. Come up onto your right toes. Lift your right hip. Descend your right heel without descending the right hip. Keep the right hip lifting. Engage that leg in the air. A deep breath in. Exhale, drop down into a Jiva squat. Bow your head. Inhale, pushing straight. Half splits. Exhale to a Jiva squat. One more time. Use your core here. When we come down, we'll stay for a little bit of time. Experiment here. Maybe you want to take your hands off the blocks, maybe one hand off the block. Find your core to help you, your pelvic floor, your glutes. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. And then two hands back onto the blocks. Extend, stretch that foot all the way back again to a lunge and place your back knee down onto the ground. Come to a half Hanumasana for a moment. Just open up the glutes and the hamstrings on that front leg. Lift the heart. And then we'll come to a lunge, but keep your back knee down onto the ground this time. Finding your legs, opening up through the hip flexor of that back leg. And then we'll reach our left arm up and we'll take that arm to a twist. So forearm, elbow, or hand on the knee. Find that prana moving through you. Breathe deeply. Press the front heel down onto the ground. Hug your inner thighs to the midline. Feel your core so we're nice and supported in the lower body. All right, relax your hands back onto the blocks. One more time, half Hanumasana. Drop back into that straight front leg. Lift the heart. Find your breath. All right, and then bring that front leg back and come to a child's pose. Take your arms out in front of you and just rest your legs for a moment. Feel that connection of symmetry and of compression. Get close to the ground. All right, and then come back up. We'll bring our left foot forward. Come to a lunge on your other side. Lift your back knee up off the ground. Find that full lunge here. Open your heart. And we'll start to move here, bending and straightening the front knee. Try to keep the hips square. Stay inside your breath. Notice what your front foot wants to do. Maybe you want to ground those big toes as you straighten-ish that front leg. Maybe you like to lift the toes. Whatever you're doing, try to keep that sense of squaring the hips and lengthening the spine. staying in your breathing as you move. Right, come to your lunge and ground your legs. Push through your feet, rising up to a crescent lunge. Open through your heart. Maybe your arms want to go wider. Maybe they like to be straight up. Maybe you even like to have your hands down on your hips. Just find the way of this posture. And can you feel that earth in your heart just kind of expanding? Okay. Take a deep breath in. Practice open the chest. And then exhale and press forward. Be very mindful as we move through the sequence to use your core so that we're not just relying on the legs. Once you're down, we'll bring our arms back toward the wall behind us. Reach your fingertips, stretch your shoulders back. Palms are facing the ground, triceps engaged, back muscles are engaged. Find your breath. And then when you're ready, we can bring our hands down onto 2 blocks. Have a little hop to climb up onto that left foot. Squaring your hips, engage your core, engage your pelvic floor, and the blocks can be on whatever height you want them to be. A deep breath in, exhale, Jiva squat, so tuck knee behind or next to, and then push straight. Inhale, exhale, bend your knees. Use your core. One more time. Exhale, drop in. Stay in this squat. Maybe your hands come off the blocks. Maybe your hands stay on the blocks. Kind of find what works. Shoulder blades down. Find your core. And then we'll push straight up again. Half splits. Step your front foot or your foot in the air back to a lunge and place your knee down onto the ground. Half Hanumasana. Take your blocks back closer to your hips. Straighten that front leg. Heels down on the ground, toes pointing up. Drop the left hip toward the earth. Lift the heart. And then we'll come to a lunge. Gather the strength in your legs again. Root down. Okay. We'll reach the right arm up in the air and take either your elbow, your forearm, or your hand on your left leg and twist. Hug to the midline with your legs. Ground through your legs. Breathing deeply. All right, bring your hands back. One more time, a half Hanumasana. Drop your hip. Lift your chest. And then we'll find a child's pose. Drop your front, take your front foot back. Feel your way into that compression of your legs. Breathing deeply. From here, we'll slide forward. Take Sphinx pose. Forearms underneath your shoulders. Drop your shoulders away from the ears and lift your heart. Stretch your legs. Find a deep breath. And then we'll exhale and relax toward the ground. Take your arms back at your sides, palms facing the ground. And lift your arms, triceps engage. Lift your chest, back body engages, the neck stays long. So try not to look up or forward, look down and a little forward. Reach your fingers toward your feet, engage your core. Now lift your legs as well. Whole back body engagement here. Find your breath. And then relax. Put your hands underneath your head. Pick up your feet and windshield wiper your knees. Come back up onto all fours. Move around in your spine. Curl the toes under and lift to a dog pose. A big breath here. Feel your full exhale. And we'll walk our feet forward when you're ready. Open up those hamstrings, relax your head. A halfway lift. Relaxing down. Push through your feet, rising up. Bring the arms to the sky. And trace down through the center of the body again. Pause here. You can either have your toes touch or you can have your feet hip width apart. You can even stick a block between your legs if you'd like. Come into a chair pose. So we squat down. Put your hands on your thighs for a minute and just press. Feel the grounding. Press down onto your legs. And then stay low and reach the arms up and feel the muscles of your back body supporting this pose. Let your floating ribs draw in a bit to the body. Feel that crown and tail long. Relax your neck. Drop your shoulder blades down a little bit. Then we're going to come up onto our toes, a little teeny bit of balance here. Focus your gaze. And then back down to a chair. Arms are still overhead for a moment. And then we'll bring our hands to our heart so we're a little bit easier to ground here. Draw your weight into your right foot and pick up your left foot. A little hover, finding breath. And then we'll push through that leg, lift up your knee, straighten through your right leg, left knee up, arms overhead. Exhale, heel down onto the ground, back to a chair. How's your breathing? Up onto your toes. Check in with the base of your skull. Use the muscles of your back so your upper neck does not take a lot of burden. Heels down. Chair pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Bear your weight into your left foot. Hover your right foot up off the ground. Core is here for you. And then we'll inhale and lift that right knee. Left leg straightens. Arms up to the sky. Find your breath. And then place that foot down, arms down at your sides. A deep breath in. A full breath out. Diaphragmatically breathe. Take a moment to let your breath move through your body well. Inhale, arms coming up to the sky. Interlace your fingers, look up, tip your head back. A little teeny bit of back bend, not very much. Protect your lumbar spine with your core. And then tip your head back to neutral, palms to your heart. Let's step our left foot back and plant your heel down onto the ground. Virabhadrasana 1. So our back hip won't turn all the way because our heel's down, but move it in that direction as best as you can. And then bring your arms up. Now maybe this is too much of a pose and you'd rather have your arms out or lean forward with your arms back. So kind of find the variation of this posture that treats your back with respect and care. Find the breath. Whatever you're doing, find the breath. Both feet grounded. Open up through the spine, lift the heart. Hands come down onto the ground, back foot forward, fold. Relax your head. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Heel plants down in that lunge. Okay, push through your feet. We'll rise up. And again, your hip may not come all the way square. That's okay. Come into your lunge, bend your front knee, swoop your arms. Now, maybe your pose is just here where you stay leaning forward a little bit to protect your back. Maybe you rise up, but your hands stay on your hips or your hands come wider. Maybe your hands interlace. Your choice always, but let your floating ribs draw into the body. Descend the tail toward the back heel and lift the pubic bone. The core and the pelvic floor are supporting this pose so you're not sinking into your low back. We're rising out of our pelvis. How's the breath? Interlace your fingers the weird way if you haven't. All right, we'll come out of that pose, hands onto the ground, dog pose. Feel the nurturing of this posture, the close connection to the ground, the symmetry, the neutrality. Okay, we'll come forward into a plank. And find the ground. Drop your shoulders away from the ears. Now you can choose if you want to do the variation we did before where our palms are facing down to the ground next to our legs. Or if you want, you can bring your arms overhead with your hands in the line with your shoulders or wider, thumbs facing up. So your choice. And same with your legs. Your legs could be hip width apart or a little wider. So just kind of find what you want to do in your body. Stabilize the core. Ribs are in, tail is long, and then we'll lift whatever position you're in, we'll lift up off the ground, everything up. Keep your neck long and breathe. All right, relax. Put your head on your hands and windshield wiper your knees left and right. Check in with your back. How is your back feeling? Do you need to modify anything? Okay, let's bring our left heel close to our left buttocks. Grab on to the front of your ankle with your left hand. Try to keep your left knee in line with the hip instead of letting it splay out to the side. Stabilize through that right leg on the ground as well. Keep the tail moving toward the knees, the pubic bone lifting toward the belly button, and the ribs in. Stretching that quad. Your head can come up or rest down, whichever feels better. And we'll release that arm and switch sides. Right hand on your right ankle. Draw your heel close to your buttocks. Keep your knee in line with your hip. Stabilize the pelvis. Stabilize that left leg. Opening up your quads. And you can lift your chest up a little bit and keep your head off your arm, or you can rest your forehead on your arm. How's the breath? All right, and then release that leg down. So we're going to do a full Dhanurasana. If this is not a good pose for your body, you can flip over and do a bridge pose instead. So your choice. We'll reach back and grab our ankles. Try to have your knees stay in line with the hips. Take a deep breath in, kick your feet back, lift everything up. Shoulder blades down the back. Use your core, keep the neck long, pull your feet back. How's your breath? Big breaths. And then relax that. Put your head on your hands and windshield wiper your knees. Back bends create a lot of vitality. but they're also, they can be tiring for the body. So let's just be mindful about how our energy is feeling. And let's start to release our spine now. So bring your left knee up toward your armpit. Take a look at your knee, kind of, side bend a little bit. And then when you're ready, we'll take our right arm, cross it in front of you on the mat, over to the left, and then roll open to a twist. Enjoy the breathing. Melting your head. All right, we'll roll back out of that pose, back onto your belly, legs straighten. And then we'll bring our right knee up toward our chest and take a look at your knee. And always there's ways to modify everything. If this twist doesn't feel good, get on your back and just do a twist on your back. Okay, left arm crossed underneath you and roll open. A full breath here. Inhale and exhale. Melt your shoulders, melt your head. All right, and then we'll come back round. Come up on all fours. Just give your spine a nice little shake. You can wag your tail, you can cat-cow, you can circle. Just kind of find whatever is freeing to the back. All right, and we're going to either do a pigeon pose, right, or a reverse pigeon pose. So you decide, what your body is in the mood for to stretch your hips. Okay, so if you're in a pigeon pose, you can use support. I'm going to use a blanket underneath my sit bone and thigh. Right leg forward, or if you've already got your left leg going, you do that one first, all is well. And then if you're on your back, reverse pigeon, you put your foot on your knee and lift up your knees toward your chest. Okay, so lengthen your body. When you're ready, we'll come into a restful pose where your forehead comes down to rest on hands or a block. Let this pose kind of find itself. Sometimes it requires a little settling. How's your breath? Square up the hips. When you feel ready for the change, we can switch to the other side. And of course, if your body is requiring staying longer in any pose, or you need to modify anything at all, always remember this is your practice. You never have to do what I'm putting on tap for today. So the best way to be in your practice is to be very present with your body and breath, and monitor how you're doing. How are these poses making you feel? Are they stressing any joints? Do you lose your capacity to breathe? Is there anything that's uncomfortable that you need to make some more room or make an adjustment to create some change? So just find your best self in these poses, modify in any way you need for that. All your postures should have an element of stability to them, both in the body and in the mind and in the breath. They should also have an element of freedom and a sense of ease. And if you don't feel safe in a pose, if a joint feels unsteady or unsafe, you're not going to have ease. So balance this stability and ease. Find it in your breath, find it in your mind, find it in your body. Okay, when you feel ready, we'll come out of that posture. Lie down on your back and grab your strap if you have one. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can just grab behind your legs. Two legs in the strap, up in the air, and just open up the hamstrings and the back of your body. Relax your shoulders, have enough give on the strap where there's ease in your upper body, and see if you can lengthen the spine. Heels up, toes down. Femur bones back, drop your femur bones into the earth. This pose is as much of a stretch for the glutes and hamstrings as it is for just generating spaciousness between your vertebrae, especially after some back bends. And release your feet onto the ground. Lift your hips, scoot them right, knees up, drop them left, and twist open. Relax your head, melt here, and breathe. And the knees back up. Changing sides, hips go left, knees up, drop right, twisting to the side. Find your breath. Ease your body down, relax. All right, and then bring your knees back up. Perhaps a happy baby pose just to open up your lumbar spine and your glutes one more time. Maybe just knees to your chest. Just see what feels good for your body. You can rock a little bit in any way that feels right. And then as you prepare for Shavasana, take some time to make sure your body's very comfortable. If you're cold, cover yourself. If you need some support for underneath your knees or underneath your head, take blankets or bolsters. And once your body is resting, do you want your limbs a little further away from the midline? Do you have enough room in your body? Are you feeling that quality of ease? Do you have enough room to breathe well?
And as you settle yourself down, melt your head. Don't forget about your head. Sometimes it's so heavy and we use it all the time. Let it go. Let your shoulders drop and your arms relax. Feel the heaviness through your spine and the ease and drop of your legs. Let's begin to deepen our breathing. Feel your body weight enter the earth one more time. And then start to move, maybe wiggle your toes, roll your ankles, wiggle your fingers and roll your wrists. Maybe a little head turning from side to side. And then if you like a big giant stretch, and then a rolling to your side. Pause on your side for a breath. And when you feel ready,
you can bring yourself upright to a comfortable seat. Just return one more time to that blessing of the whole earth inside your heart. And the more attuned we are to others' suffering, the more compassionate we become. Let's hold that space as often as we can, always remembering to hold space for yourself as well, caring for self before others, along with others. And bring your hands together and offer your energy to someone. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Hope you have